Hello everyone, my name is Sandeep and in this video I will be showing you how to solve LeetCode problem 1906 minimum absolute difference queries. So the problem states that you are given an array and you have to find the minimum value of absolute of a of I minus a of j, where I and j is nothing but two indexes such that I is greater than equal to 0 and less than the length of the array, and j is also greater than I but less than the length of the array, and also both the elements a of I and a of j should be different. But there is a catch also. If all the elements in the array A are same, then you do not return 0, then the minimum absolute difference is -1. Okay, so this is easy, but the harder version is you are also given an array queries. What are these queries? So every query has a left and a right. So basically for each sub array that is in the range left to right, you have to find the minimum absolute difference. So let's see some examples and try to understand what the question is saying. So let's see the first example. Here we have the array nums as 1, 3, 4 and 8, and we have given some queries L1 R1, L2 R2, L3 R3 and so on. So let's see how do we answer for each of these queries one by one. So the first query is 0 to 1. The first query is 0, 1, so which is this particular sub array. What is the minimum absolute difference here? So since we have only two elements, we can only do 1 minus 3 and the value is 2. So we return 2 from here. Next we have query 1. The query 1 is 1, 2. So what is the sub array 1, 2? This is the sub array. What is the minimum absolute difference among all the elements here? There are only two elements right now, 3 and 4. So the minimum absolute difference is 3 minus 4, which is 1 actually. So we return 1 from here. For the third query, we have the sub range as 0, 3. So which is the sub array 0 to 3? This is the sub array 0 to 3. And what is the minimum absolute difference here? So let's see what are the possible choices we have. We can either take 1, 3. We can either take 3, 4, or we can either take this one and this 4. Now what is the minimum value we can get? So if we take 1, 3, the minimum absolute difference will be 2. If we take 3, 4, these two elements, what is minimum absolute difference? It is 1. What if we take this value and this value, 1 and 4? The minimum absolute difference will be 3. So the best answer is if we choose this index 1 and the index 2. So the answer is 1 in this case, which we are returning from here. So let's see the example 2. Here we are given a bigger example. So the array is 4, 5, 2, 2, 7 and 10, and these are the queries L1 R1, L2 R2 and so on. So let's see how we come up to the answer using each of the queries. So the first query is 2, 3. So what is the sub range? The sub range is this 2, 3. Now if you see, both the elements in the array are same. So as I already said, if all the elements in this range are same, then we have to return -1. So the answer is -1 because all the elements in the range are same. Next, let's see the range 0 to 2. So for 0 to 2, we have this sub range, and what are the possible values again? We either take 4 and 5, we either take 5 and 2, or we take this 4 and this 2. Among all the possible values that we can pick, the minimum is if we take 4 and 5. So if we do this, then the value is 1. So that is 1 and we return it from here. Next, what is the value for query 2? Query 2 is 0 to 5. For this entire range, if you iterate over all the possibilities, like if you take 4, 5, if you take 5, 2, where 2, 2, or if you take 2, 7, or if you take 7 and 10. So except for the elements that are same, if you take other elements, then the minimum difference you get if you again pick 4 and 5, because that always gives you a 1. Any other elements if you pick, those will give you greater answer, except if you pick 2, 2, but you cannot pick them because they are the same. So the minimum absolute difference is 1 here. Next, another sub range we have is 3, 5. So this is the range 3 to 5. So we again either take 2, 7, 7, 10, or we take 2, 10. So minimum difference we get if we take this 7 and this 10, which is 3. So we return 3 from here. So that was how we print our answers. Now let's see the constraints. The constraints are like this. The length of the array is around 20 power 5. The numbers are in the range 1 to 100, and each query can be around the 0 to the entire length of the array, and these are the LNR values, left and right for each query. So what is the best time complexity we can come up with? So pause the video here if you want to think of a solution right now, and yeah, let's see the solution then. So what is the first observation here? The first observation is that the range of the elements is only from 1 to 100. That was given in the constraints, correct? The range is only 1 till 100. So can we use this information? Yes, we can. Let's see how. So what I want first is for a particular index I, let's say this index I, I want to know what all elements have come before it in a one go. Can I do that? Yes, let's see how. So I build a 2D array and I store two things. Firstly, my columns is my range of values. My range of values can go from 1 to 100. So I have only shown till 10. I have not plotted the other values. You can always, for consistency, check for yourselves, but yeah, that's my limit. I have taken till 10. Next, what are the rows that I can have? It is the elements that are present in my nums array. Correct? So now let's see. When my I is equal to 3, I know I have seen the elements 4, 5, 2 and 2. So for I is equal to 3, what do I have? I basically know I have seen 4 once, I have seen 5 once, and I have seen 2 twice. Rest, nothing I have seen. Correct? Because I only have a 4 once, 5 once, 2 times. So I have stored here 2 twice. Is this possible to build? Yes. Let's see how. So let's start. So firstly, I know before this start, none of the elements are present. So I simply fill everything with zeros. Dot. So when I am at index I equals 0, I already know what all elements were present before this from this particular row. Correct? So I simply copy this entire row again, because these were the elements that were present till now. And next I see this new element 4 at I is equal to 0. So what I will do, I will simply go to 4 and I will increment this value. Correct? Now let's see for I equals 1. So when I equals to 1, what all elements I have seen? I have seen 4, 5. But I have already stored the values till I equals to 0 in my this particular row. What all elements I have seen. So I will again copy this, because I already know that these values have already come till I minus 1. So I will again copy these. And what's the new value that I saw? The new value was 5. So I will simply go to 5 and I will increment this value by 1. Next, when I am at I equals 2, I again know that this was the range, but I have already calculated the values for this I minus 1 range that is present in this particular row. So I will again copy that. Now the new element that I see was a particular value 2. So I simply go to the value index 2 and I increment that by 1. Same goes for the rest. So like this, I always know that at a particular index I, what all values have I seen till now. So now I have filled all the values for u in this grid. Now let's see, what do I do next? Let's say I have a query 3, 5. So basically the user wants to know in this range 3, 5, what is the best difference values that you can get. Let's see. So firstly what I can do is, let's see the difference. If this value minus this value is greater than 0 for each of the columns, then I can say that I have seen this element in this range. Why? Why is that? Let's see. So this is what we call as prefix sums. When you have a range where you store the sum of all values till r, let's say this is the range. I have an array from 0 to n and this is some pointer l minus 1, this is an r. So let's say I have already this information that what are the values till r, and I already have this information as well, what are the values till l minus 1, sum of all the values till l minus 1. Then if I can subtract sum of r minus sum of l minus 1, what will that give me? If I subtract this entire range from this range, what do I get? I get this range. That's the idea here as well. So from this entire range, if I subtract this range, I will know what all values I have seen in this range, or how many times has 0 occurred in this entire range. So let's see one by one. We haven't seen any zeros because 0 minus 0 is 0. Next, let's see, move ahead. Again 0 minus 0 is 0, so we haven't seen any ones. But this one, let's see, 2 minus 1 is 1. So that means in this range 3 to 5, I have seen one single 2 definitely. And yes, we had a 2 here. See this one. Next, again this is a 0, this is a 0, so we move ahead. Again this was a 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. That means this element was again not seen in this range. This one again 1 minus 1 0 was not seen. For this value, I see that 1 minus 0 is 1. So this value had definitely come in this range, and 7 was there. Similarly, again for this one, I see 1 minus 0 is 1. So again I have seen a 10 here. So what were the values that I had seen? The values that I had seen were 2, 7 and 10. Correct. Now let's see, if I simply keep them in a set, like these are the values that I had, 2, 7 and 10, what is the minimum absolute difference I can achieve? Note that since these elements are sorted, because I always insert them one by one, like first this 2, then next this one, so this is an increasing range. So I always have this as an increasing range. So the minimum value will always be the subtraction of the two corresponding values. So like 7 minus 2 should be 5 and 10 minus 7 should be 3. So the best answer is 3 that we can have here. And if you subtract 10 minus 2, you will get an 8. So it's worthless to subtract two elements that are outside the range of 2. So we always subtract two consecutive elements because they are sorted. That will give me the best answer. So yeah, that's the key idea. For each element ranging from 1 to 100, I do this. If prefix of right and element minus prefix of left minus one element, if that's greater than 0, then simply add it to a set, and finally just check what is the minimum difference that you can have. That was the key idea. Let's see the code. So let's quickly look at the code. So we have a function min difference and two parameters, nums and queries. Nums is basically storing the array. So I have stored in n the length of the nums array, and max is 101 because the range of the elements can be from 1 to 100. So next I build up 2D prefix array. The prefix array is nothing but rows cross columns, where rows is nothing but the length of the array, and the maximum value that I can have in the column is 1 to 100. So that will be 101. Here max I have taken. So next I iterate through each of the rows. How do I fill those values? As I said, I first copy previous I minus 1th row, and then I increment the value that I'm at. So I first copied the previous row, and then I just incremented the current index value. That is done. Next, for each query, I simply iterate from 0 to the length of the query's length, and I take L and R. So since it's one index for me, I have added 1 to both of these, and finally I iterate from the element that is 1 to 100, and I simply check if prefix of R minus prefix of L minus 1, if that range has that element count greater than 0, then that means that element had occurred in that sub range, and I simply add it to a list. So the list will contain all the elements that are present in this range, and that list size can be maximum 100 because we have a maximum 100 elements range. Correct? Next I simply iterate over the list, and I simply get the minimum difference that I can get and store it into my answer array. So that was the solution. The complexity is simply number of queries cross 100, because at max 100 values that I have in the column, and I am iterating through them. So that is the maximum time complexity, queries cross 100. And yeah, so hope you liked the problem and you enjoyed this solution, and if you liked it, please leave a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.